Serious discussion between everyone. Good that all the teams have already identified what you are going to do for audio video. Keep discussing. Keep discussing and then you can frame your dialogue. Start practicing your dialogues. So that tomorrow when you come back, like you can come some 10 minutes before 9:30. Do one practice here so that when you are going to do. Because afternoon we'll go in rotation. The first groups will not have time for your practice. Group number 1 and group number 5. You have to practice before. Other people are privileged. 2, 3, 4. In between when they are going in rotation, you will also be going for other things. Some or the other way you will get time. 1 and 5. Huh? One group will start from, audio will start from 1, video will start from 5. So it will be reverse order to go rotation. So we'll directly sharp. The other two teams will go to other two rooms. So you don't think that you will get time to practice. You are supposed to do four activities. So it is like a rotation. Finish one, go to next. All four and come back to this room. Like that. Okay. So now we'll go for more. You have already learned audio video resources. You did yesterday animation. Now we are going to learn about how to create visual resources. So we have two resource persons for this session. We have Dr. Amit Ranjan, who is Assistant Professor in Department of ICT and Training Division in CIT. And also we have Dr. Mamor. He was Assistant Professor in CIT. Now he is working as Assistant Professor in Jamia. They both will be taking up this session because there are two different tools you will be learning in this session. So what is expected as a practical out of this session and your assignment number 2 that you need to submit today is, yesterday there are 6 people who have not submitted the assignments. Very casually you have taken. Your names will be noted also and in your circular will write.
Madam, why are sticking on 9:30, 2:30, 5:30? Give time we can submit what is there.
No, but there is a training norm, certain methodology is there.
The work.
There is a methodology in the training, sir. You need to follow that.
You have to mind that we are also working here and we are also bond with our department. We have some urgent works also.
Very true,
That you have to
sir.
consider.
Very true. We have told your already departments that they are not supposed to go.
Other than department, we have also projects. We have connected. We already bond with those.
Sir, everyone is born, but you have been deputed for a training.
Deputed Mysore and somewhere else, we would have attended the whole day. No problem with that.
Sir, you could have come only 5 minutes before you finished your assignment yesterday itself.
We have.
It's just 5 minutes to submit.
I can know, and I know that. I know that.
So that should have been done. That's all.
You have completed 9:30 itself. You have locked that.
5 minutes before if you have come, you should have completed, sir.
We reached here 8:55, but we are busy with our work.
Sir, I cannot answer now in this full gang this.
That's what you have to understand. Those who are working here itself in NIE.
Sir, even if you are working in NIE, you are deputed for the training.
We are deputed.
We request you.
Are deputed, we know that.
We'll have it as a separate discussion, sir. Okay. Please let us understand that the assignment has to be submitted before tomorrow 9:30. For today's also that this is the second assignment. In this there are two assignments that are supposed to be done. One is a mind map and one is an infographic that has to be created. And one is a mind map that has to be developed with the software VUE and the infographic have to be created with Canva. These are the two things which they will be teaching you and you will be developing it. And these two tools are fixed, but you will take the topic relevant to what you are teaching. If you are teaching physics, you take physics. If you are teaching education, you take education. It should be based on your own topic of whatever subject you are teaching. It's up to your choice to select. but it should be a learning resource that can be used for teaching any of the subject where you are related to, not common topics. Is that clear? Right? So you can just follow these two sessions. So I welcome both the resource persons, and over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. And before starting the session, I would like to all of you to come out of the stress you are taking. Maybe you are thinking so many things. So we have to come back first, take a little, you can say, breath, and think that you are not doing any other work. Just concentrate on the points or the topic which we are going to discuss. And it is not only the lecture kind of things. It is not just that I am resource person, I am delivering a lecture in front of you. It is a kind of discussion, or you can say interaction, where we are trying to learn a new point of view, or new kind of, you can say, uh, things which may improve, or which may add something in our you can say understanding, so that we can perform better. So the topic is that, can we use visual resource in our educational purposes? The answer is yes, and there is no debate in that. Everyone is accepting or admitting that yes, visual resources are effective or powerful in educational purposes. Means whether we are teaching or learning or any other purpose we are having in education, we can use these visual resources. So if we are keeping in mind this assumption, or this you can say point that yes, these visuals are very much powerful, then how to create these resources? Image sometimes may not be resource if it is not having the capability, or you can say the power to be used in teaching learning process. So technology or the resource will be focused later. First, we will think about the educational purposes, or we can say situations where I need this kind of resource. Like, for example, I am a teacher, I am teaching in my classroom, so I may be facing or maybe having different type of situations, academic or you can say teaching learning situations, where I feel that okay, this traditional method or whatever conventional resource or method I am having is not working to make the students understand in an effective manner. So what should be the alternative? Then I will go for the visual resource. So like I thought some of the situations you may include, or you may add, and many more such situations, because whenever I am in the classroom, I may have different situations or the similar situations. Like, for example, if I am going to deal the concepts in different you can say discipline, like in sciences, like if I am talking about the function of cells or structure of cells in biology, or in you can say similar kind of discipline, then I can think for labeled diagrams. So if I'm using paper pencil, I may have some limitations to use those resources, means teaching learning material, to make my learning more interactive, more effective. But if I'm using digital material, I may have more you can say options to add different things, different features, so that it may be useful for learning those concepts in effective manner. So this situation is there, or maybe there in the classroom, that I am dealing such a content where I need visual resource. So one of the example from science background or science discipline is functions of cells or structure of cells. Similar kind of things may be there. Similarly, in social sciences, suppose I am teaching or I am dealing with the custom or culture or tradition or any other you can say similar topics, the simple explanation with the help of words or voice will not help. I have to show the examples in pictures, in real pictures, you can say, photographs. So I need visual resources, images. Then only it will be helpful for the students to understand or to learn those concepts. Similarly, in geography or any other subject, like if I'm talking about the satellite-based images or maps to be used in dealing with some geographical concepts, then again there is a need for visual resources in terms of images or maps or charts or any other. So the point is, these kind of situations may arise in each and every classroom. So we have to start with the situations, not from the technology. First, I feel or I have to understand the need, that yes, visual resources are required, visual resources should be used, then I will go for the development of these visual resources to be used in my classroom. So now I will go ahead with the point that how to create such visual resources and what type of resources may be created in the name of visual resources. So if I go for the process, it is again very much known to all of you, because all of you are from that background that you know this process. First of all, I have to choose the format, whether I'm going to create chart, concept map, word cloud, or photographs or chart, whatever format you want to select, you have to select. For the purpose of this particular session, we may select any one or two, as Dr. Angel already mentioned that you have to create two resource, so we can select two resource. Like we have thought out before going to start this session, that we will focus upon two things. One is infographics, another is the concept map, a mind map. Mind map and concept, we will discuss the difference also, but right now either you say mind map or concept map, that is one. Another is infographics. So we will develop, or will try to understand how to develop these two types of visual resources.
So charts, concept maps, and word clouds don't they come under infographics, sir?
You may develop these things as a infographics when you are including two components, information with graphics. Okay. So the second point is, what will be the model or the framework to develop any instructional material or this kind of resource. Then there are so many other models: Azure model, any nine model of nine instructional you can say points, or any other. But most of the time we are using AD model. And here we are not going to discuss the details of these you can say steps, but to keep in mind that at least first three steps we have to follow. First is analysis, design, and development. Why? Because whenever we are developing any resource, we should start with the content itself. As I mentioned already, that we have to think about what is the main topic, what are the subtopics under this, then what should be the objectives or learning outcomes, then what should be the nature of the topic which we are dealing, and then we are going for the understanding of the learner to whom we are creating this resource, what is the background or what is the previous knowledge, exposure of you can say even technology to these students, where we will use these resources, what are the infrastructure may be available at that place where we are using these resources. So all these things will be a starting point, and then we will go for the design, that will be the blueprint. Like for example, if I'm going to create infographics, so what kind of blueprint maybe, like I'm thinking about a size first, that what should be the size of that particular infographics, then whether I will include text, images, real photographs, or you can say animated kind of things, or some you can say screenshots. So, what are the elements which I am going to include in my infographics? What should be the percentage? Whether the text will be more or graphics will be more, or what should be the you can say places that where I will keep or put you can say graphics, and where I will keep the or put the text. So everything is a part of your blueprint. Means you are thinking about the complete design. What should be the design of that particular resource? And then you will go for development using either software, If it is video, then studio. But in case of today session, we are talking only for the infographics and mind map or concept map. Then we will talk about the software or the websites. Sometimes we are using websites, sometimes we are using software. So that is the process of going ahead when we are creating visual resources. Then we will start with the first point, that what we have to select. Already discussed that we will go for infographics and mind map or concept map. This I am skipping because this is the point which we already discussed. Just I have written, or we discussed, we thought that we should also think in the other way. Sometimes we say AD model, sometimes we say the stages: pre-development, development and post-development. So whatever way you think, that is not very, you can say, important here, that how you are thinking. Either you are thinking in terms of steps of AD or in terms of stages, the same points will be there. This is again not very important to discuss in detail, but why we are keeping it here, because maybe after development, someone else or you are evaluating or thinking about the others resources. Like for example, as a teacher, it is my duty that whenever I am going to use any resource in my classroom, it should not be haphazard way, or just by taking or picking some resource and going to use in my classroom. I should evaluate first whether it is worthy for my classroom or not. So how to evaluate? What should be the criteria for evaluation of a particular resource? So there are some parameters, some pointers which we have to keep in mind. So if at the time of development I know these points, I have kept in mind these resources, then it will be easier to to keep or to maintain the quality of the resource. At the time of evaluation, it will not be very difficult to understand that where it is lacking, or whether I have to think for the improvement or not. So I have to keep in mind these points, that someone can evaluate on these points. Like for example, target audience, उनका एज ग्रुप क्या है, previous whatever we discussed at the time of analysis, that we have to keep in mind the previous knowledge of the students. We have to keep in mind the socio-cultural background, learning styles. There is a long list of things which should be kept in mind while you are developing any resource related to the target audience, means the students, the learners for which we are developing this resource. Then the content accuracy. Suppose I am going to search any resource and I found one, either video or any other PPT or infographics or chart or concept map, and the content dealt inside is not correct. So whatever the quality in terms of technical part, there is no point to use that resource in classroom. I cannot tolerate any factual error in the content or in the resource, though it is very good, it is high quality level of technical features. बहुत अच्छे ग्राफिक्स यूज हुए हैं, बहुत अच्छे कलर कॉम्बिनेशन यूज हुआ है, बहुत अच्छी टेक्नोलॉजी यूज की है, बट कंटेंट सही नहीं है. सो आई विल नॉट यूज दैट रिसोर्स इन माय teaching learning. So the point is, as the developer, as the creator, I have to keep in mind that there should not be any conceptual error in my resource. So that is why I am keeping in you can say parameter list, that this should be the point, that content wise it should be free from factual error, it should be relevant to that particular level or class, it should be it should cover all the points. Sometimes what I observe, even you have also observed these things, that I found one very good video, and then when I'm checking whether this is covering my you can say content, what I am going to deliver in the classroom, the duration of the video is 30 minutes, but it is only 5 minutes which is required for my topic. So I will not go for that particular 30 minutes video to be used in my classroom. Either I will cut it, or I will say that I will only show these, you can say, this particular duration of that particular video, or I will search for some other video which should be covering all the points which are, you can say, the objectives or the topics covered in my planning. So the point is, coverage is the another important that you should think about whenever you are developing, that I should cover all the points, as well as I should not cover the irrelevant points which can distract the learners from the major point or the main topic. So that is why these points should be kept in mind. Similarly, the other, you can say, parameters. I am not going into the detail because it will take time to discuss, and we have to focus upon the demonstration also, that how to do this, how to create the resource. But this slide is for your information, that we have to keep in mind these points while we are developing the resource. Now, if I start with the infographics first, then as per the purpose, I can select different types of infographics. When you go to the website or the software which you are using for creating any infographics, you will find different types of infographics templates. So, how to select which one should be used? Suppose there are so many templates there. So how you will select? You will first think about the purpose. Like for example, if you are going to deal a concept where historical development or development of a or evolution of a particular concept has to be discussed or delivered, then you will go for timeline. So timeline infographics will be used for the content where some kind of historical developments or evolution of a particular concept should be discussed or dealt. Then there are concepts which, or their content where you have to focus on the process, like digestive system in you can say science, you are, or life cycle or water cycle. So there is a process you have to discuss, or student has to understand. So then you can select the process infographics to deal that kind of content. Then similarly, if you are just focusing upon the facts or information, then it is informational infographics. That is simplest one. If you are going to deal the concepts where you need map, like for example, you are talking about the different uh, crops, or some kind of, you can say, major producers of a particular crop, the places, then you need map, and then you are using uh, here map infographics for that particular concept. Similarly, there are some content where you have to make the list. Like for example, you are talking about the fundamental rights given in the constitution. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or types of triangles in mathematics. So you are just listing the things. So then you can select list infographic. Similarly, you can sometimes compare two things or three things. So if you are going for comparison, then you can select comparison infographics. Similarly, in computer science or any many other, you can say, discipline or subjects, you are requiring flow chart. You are asking the students to create flow chart. So then you can select flow chart infographics. So the point is that as per the need or as per the purpose, you can select different type of infographics. So if you know these type of infographics, when you are going to develop, then you can select as per your requirement. Okay, this is, again, I'm not going to discuss in detail because all of us very much familiar with the benefits or the advantages of using infographics or any other digital resource in the classroom or in the teaching learning process. So just to keep in mind that it is good, it is for clarification, or means it can uh, create the interactivity or activeness in the classroom, like that. So now from here we can start the thinking about the another visual resource, that is concept map. After completing this theoretical presentation, we will go for the demonstration, and followed by the next session as a practical. Okay, so till now we have discussed what are the you can say need and importance of visual resources and situations in the classroom. Then there are different types of visual resources. We are selecting only two for this particular session. One is infographics and another is concept map. Infographics, there are different types of infographics, and the process is already discussed, that how to start thinking about the creation of visual resources. Now we are going to the next topic, means next visual resource, that is concept map. And whenever you are talking about concept map, it is not only digital concept map. Many a times teacher are using this concept map method in classroom on the paper also. Means you are asking the students to create concept maps. So what are the major points whenever you are thinking about the concept maps? You first think about the concepts, and these concepts will be nodes or vertices in digital terminology. So you are creating nodes. When you are talking about the concepts, you are creating nodes. Then these concepts may be, means one concept may be linked or associated with the other concept or sub concepts. So you are creating links, means you are linking the nodes. And you can also show the relationship or association between the nodes. First is the direction you are making, and then the statement which is reflecting the relationship. So there are three things: nodes, links, and relationship. So keeping in mind these three things, you have to create the concept map. This is the simplest one, which is an outcome of a software, that is free plane or free mind. But here we are just showing the linkages between the nodes and the, means topics or concepts and sub concepts. Means there is a major topic, major theme, then we are creating the branches like triangles, then types of triangles, congruency of triangles, like that. And then we are going ahead with the further expansion as a child nodes. In terminology, you can say technical words, you are saying nodes and child nodes and parents node or sibling. There are different words which we will use here. Sibling nodes means branches, and child node means further expansion. So we will keep in mind these words also when we are going to create concept map. This is another example, looking like very complex one, but this is the outcome of the another software, that is VUE, and we will today try to practice this particular software VUE to create similar kind of concept map. Maybe you are not going for this kind of you can say complex one. You can select only one you can say branch or one section of it, means not particularly from this particular concept map. Means to make it more simple, you can just go for one or two levels, so that you can understand that we can create similar kind of concept map using a software VUE. Here also, if you V, capital V, capital U, capital E, there are three alphabets: V, V for victory, U for umbrella, E for elephant, VUE. That is the software name. So we will use that. Okay. Abbreviation, yes. So this is the environment where you will create similar concept map. So there are three things. The first is there is a major theme or concept, then there are some other concepts or the sub concepts, and there is a connection between the two nodes, two concepts, and then the relationship is shown as statement or text in between on the link. Okay. Yes. Now we will start the demonstration. We will start from this part, last one. That means we will start from VUE. This comes.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mahmood. And Good afternoon, esteemed colleagues. So we've done presentation about the importance of infographics and so on. And now we will look at VUE, which is Visual Understanding Environment, which is more or less self-explanatory. And it's a very easy thing. Once you play around with it a little bit, you will be able to figure out. If you have been able to figure out Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, it's easy to figure out. These things are not very difficult. So the more basic idea of the conceptual understanding that Sir was talking about, that when you're building concept maps, a grip on the content, on the concept, and uh, pedagogical curiosity that you would build up is more important. So anyway, it is about a demonstration of this tool. So I'll show this tool and try to work around with my own subject. So this is how it looks when it's available on all platforms. It's open source, so it's free. It's available on Linux, Mac, and Windows. So you can just Google VUE, just type VUE or Visual Understanding Environment, and it will pop up, and then it will give you options for Mac, Linux, and Windows. So download whichever is relevant for your
It is
computer.
already there on the desktop.
It's
No
there
need
on
to
your
install.
computer. So if you just type VUE in search, in the search tab on the bottom. No, no, that is different. That's a coding software. This is VUE.
Please अभी आप मत करिए, वो already installed है. Whenever we will do the practical, we will show where it is. So just do not go to the searching the software. Just listen first, understand the process, then we will go for practical.
Right. So yeah, we have to do a practical anyway. So just see a demo of how it's done, and then I'll show you the features, and then we can do the thing. So like Sir pointed out, there are two main things. It's old wine and new with a new name. Basically, what was flowchart earlier on is called visual understanding environment, and they're called nodes, and so on. It's basically the flowchart that we studied in computers in school. So you click on this box. So we are doing a concept map, let's say. So you put the main box here, and there's your new node where you can type. Now you can see the font is small over here. On the top, you can see you can change the font to whatever you like. I like Calibri, and let's do 24. Okay, what should we do? Now, to explain a concept and also to make it a little fun, I am a student of literature or philology or etymology, which is the it's a history of words, or epistemology, a word which I deliberately put into that PowerPoint, which is the history of ideas. So, along with learning about the bare bones of form, let us also learn something interesting. So, have you ever wondered how many words are there which involve, in English, spec, respect, introspect, prospect, perspective, spectacular, speculate, introspect, inspect? You can think of many. Suspect. It goes on and on. Suspect. Have you thought? We know these words by merely we have learned these by calling by rote or through practice. Through years of learning about these words, what they mean, we know. But through building a concept map, we can understand all of it in 5 minutes. And this is how, once we understand the fundamental of English, that 60% of it is borrowed from Greek and Latin, half your job is done. And because of colonization, the remaining 40% comes from Hindi or African languages or wherever else it comes from. But the bulk is from Latin and Greek. So once you are able to spy also comes from spec, by the way, directly. Once you're able to spy that root into a word, you'll be able to figure out by guessing many other words. So let us do words with the root spec. Okay. Now, if you click on this, it's very smart. It incorporates it. You don't have to drag and drop. Now we can also fill it with different colors because of course you would want different colors for different concepts. So for example, we make it green. Now in the in this field of analyzing words with the root spec, you'll see that there are four kinds of words. One will be those which are prefixed, inspect, prospect, respect, disrespect, and so on. Where spect comes at the end and you have a prefix. So if you figure out the prefix, what they mean, and which is very easy because they are like very fundamental ideas of prepositional ideas, over, under, into, outside. Once you understand that, you will be able to figure out. So then we have prefixed words with spect. We have suffixed words with spect. So spectacle, spectacular, speculum, these are words where spect becomes the prefix. So there are those which are prefixed, those which are suffixed. And those which are related, like species, also spec, or spy, like I said. These are related. Then there are those that are unrelated, but which roundabout will, if you dive deep into it, it will turn out to be from there. So, for example, auspicious, which does not sound like it has spec, but auspicious is a very interesting word where os comes from ave, bird. So, if you spot a bird in the sky, it's good luck. That is why it's auspicious. You ever think about it? Yeah, so once you figure out wherever you see this pick spec business, you will be able to figure out that this has something to do with seeing. And then you can calculate from there what the prefix or the suffix is. So let's build a concept map around it and then put another box over here which will be let's say prefix words. And then we can put some other color in it. Then let us put suffix words. And then let's change the color of this because we want different colors for everything. Then let us put related words, which are directly related to the root, and then there will be some which will be indirectly related to the root. Okay. And then let's put yellow we have done. Okay. So we have four kinds of words that we'll be covering. So, for example, I made some list where it's suffixed, where it's prefixed. We have got many examples that you know of. Um, for example, give me some examples. Um, Prefixed, I'm taking the meaning other way around. That spect is prefixed. So, inspect, for example, and then we can add another box over here, link it up with that box, and explain its meaning. So what is inspect? In is in, very simple. Look into. It's inspection. You want to look into the matter, you want to probe a matter, that's why it's inspect. So here we can add another box and add that the prefix is in, which means look into. Okay, so I'm just giving you examples. Okay. And surprisingly, respect, which you never thought is of the same category, is also of the same category. Why respect? Respect, re is to do again. You want to look at someone again because you value them, therefore, respect is respect. Okay. Then, then we draw these. So I'm just giving you examples, and then we can draw this arrow over here, and there are labeled which how you establish the linkages will be over here. So we can say, let's say we're writing this link over here, and then we can draw all these like that, and we can draw, and whatever the flow of the matter is, if you want to write how they are related, it's written this way. And so we'll prepare this map. But anyway, um, okay, let's look at some more words. Fun along with learning the format. Suspect, for example. What is sus? Sus is also another prepositional prefix, which means to look under, to look from underneath. I suspect something, so I have to look at it from all angles. Like you go to a mall and your car is looked at from underneath with a mirror. That's suspicion. Prospect. Prospect, pro is forward. I am pro human rights. I look forward to human rights. Pro is always forward. So when you say prospect, you say the future prospects are bright. You say prospectus. Prospectus is you're giving an advance information about an institute. So this is the prospectus for CIET, and so on. Then there is introspect, look into, look within. That's very obvious. Looking into. Circumspect, circum is circular. Look around. So you are cautious, therefore you look around. You go all around your house to look for things. Expect, X is out. So when you are looking outside, when you're looking outside waiting for somebody to come to your house, you are expecting. Um, despise is a very interesting word which may not seem so. This we'll put in related words, for example. And of course, we can keep changing the color and things like that. Despise does not look like it's from this root, but it's the opposite of respect. You want to look at somebody again, you want to respect somebody, you want to unlook at somebody. I don't want to look at anything. That is despising. It changes form to despicable, despise, and so on. Not look is despise. Respect, the opposite of respect. So this becomes in related words, where it will not have the direct root, but you can see the relationship very clearly. Now this is the basic of drawing your uh, nodes and the links like this, and then we can also change the shape of the nodes. So you have clicked on the nodes tab over here, and we generate nodes like that. So now let's say we want different shapes for different things. So here, say I want different shapes for all the 4 different concepts. So we'll do it like this. Um, and so on. And here also it turned out to be like that. Then we can also, so for example, in this category, the first word would be spectacles. That's direct. you see, therefore it's a spectacle. Spectacle also is a metaphor. Spectacle is the glasses through which you see, that's literal. And the metaphor is the metaphor that you know, this is a big spectacle. Ye bada tamasha hai. What can be seen visually very strongly is a spectacle. So we can change shapes of these like that. We can add images, we can add videos, we can add URLs. So for example, we want to put an image of spectacles. So let us add an image of spectacles. Go to images. Let's say what about download something. Save images. Specs. Then we can grab the copy. So now we want to add an image over here. So here you'll get in format, node, font, image, links. Through this you can add images, links, and all kinds of things. You can do alignment, you can arrange. So we have time for just the basic things. And so here the images that are already there, you can selection.
First, we have to change the mode.
The mode has to be changed.
Now we can click and then go for
Add image from content.
content.
From the content, we will add image. And when you go, you save this image here. And downloads. हाँ so recent items. So right, so we can add image like this. You want to add a URL. You just right click and add a URL. So let us say we want to add a YouTube video to it. Newton's first law of motion. Sorry. So we just copy paste it and it goes over here. So when I click on this, the video will show up again. So this is how you can embed
Have you submitted leave application?
I have.
so this way we can add we can make these links, change shapes, relate your concepts, um, and add URLs and add images. That's roughly the basics of VUE with which you have to operate around this concept. And because it's is it tea time already? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Tea time
So I had a list of 400 words. You have escaped that because of the tea. But if anybody is interested, you're most welcome to discuss the spectacular.
Images or videos or any other URL means any other web page. So three things. Then fourth will be if you want to do some kind of formatting. Like for example, I want to do formatting with let's say font style, font size, or any other things, colors. So I can do either separately, one by one, or I can do at once for all the nodes, for all the links. So how to do that? Just to keep in mind, just go to edit and select here. If you see, there are three options: select all, select nodes, select links. So if you click on select nodes, all the nodes will be selected, and whatever formatting you will do, it will apply on all nodes at one time. Similarly, you can do for the links. So, what fourth thing? Formatting. First, creating nodes. Second, creating links. Third, adding additional resources. Fourth, formatting. Fifth point is saving the outcome or the work. How to save? जैसे आप वर्ड में करते हैं या किसी भी सॉफ्टवेयर में करते हैं. So there is another rule for the software that you have to save in two formats. Please listen, and then you can go for tea break. It is a thumb rule in software. Whenever you are working, you can save in two formats. One is the editable, another is non-editable. Editable means you can work to after the, you can say sometimes if you want to improve it using the same software. Like for example, I want to use this particular concept map sometimes after, and I want to improve it further. So I can open it in this same environment, means using Vue. But how I will use it? I will save it in mind map format, and that is I have to click on file, then save as, similar to other software. Then you can select the, here there are two options, VUE and VUE package. So the second one is more good for you because it will include all the related files. So you have to save in VUE package format. So just click on that and save with the some name. Like for example, if I keep the name here, project 1, and then I am saving it on desktop. So click on save. So it is similar to other software. Similarly, you can also save it in the non-editable formats, and that will be through the exports. So there are points here. If you see here, even if you click on save as, nowadays there are giving option for the other formats like JPG, PDF. You can click here, like PDF you can create JPG, but the interactivity will lose, will not be remain there. You cannot create links and the other things there, but you will use it as an output. So if you want to use as an output, then you can click on JPG or PDF, click this, you can say save with the same name, like for example project 1, and then desktop. So I will save here. So now you can see the two outcomes on the desktop. See here, project 1, this is the symbol of Vue, icon of Vue. So this is the file of Vue. You can use it in Vue further, but this project 1 cannot be used in Vue. This is image file. Okay, just click on this, it will be look like that. This is the image.
So if you want to print it, this is just
Yes.
the final outcome of the thing.
Yes. So there are 5 steps to be remembered or to be understood. Open, you can say 6 also. First, open the software, create the nodes, create the links, add the extra resources, image, video, URL, do the formatting, save the work. Okay, we can go for tea break, then we will come back and we'll understand how to create infographics.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
नमस्कार सर